Is it okay? Is it finally time? Can the Sombra mains come out and play without being bitched at every single match? Is the time upon us where Sombra will reign supreme? It's gonna be close. Maybe. We got some big changes coming forward in the upcoming patch. With the addition of the brand new hero and a ton of new balance changes, this might be Sombra's time to shine. She might finally come out on top. I'm really hoping. I got my fingers crossed. I want to talk a little bit about the upcoming changes that will be happening very, very shortly. I think it's within the next week or so. They did say that the next hero is coming out next week, so we're assuming that that's when the full patch comes through as well. So let's break down what's changing with Sombra and talk about how this might shift up her position and finally make her a decent, if not a strong pick. First off, this one I really like, changes to her stealth. The sound effects and VO distance for entering and exiting stealth has been reduced to 15 meters. 15 meters is a shorter distance than you might think. This is actually the distance of Sombra's ability to hack. So essentially what's happening here is if you are just outside a distance to hack a player, then they are not going to hear loud VO shouting that Sombra does every time she enters or exits stealth form. The biggest thing with this is when she exits stealth, because a lot of times you would enter stealth, you would sneak up behind the enemy team, but it really wouldn't make a difference. Yeah, you got there without being seen, but as soon as you left and were able to do anything like hack or do damage, Sombra would shout at the top of her lungs, and anyone wearing decent headphones or having decent surround sound would know exactly where you are. They didn't even have to see you. They don't even need visual of you. Sombra tells them where you are. This is kind of entirely defeats the purpose of the point of stealth. It's to get into a position unknown. Well, as soon as you can do anything, if your position is known, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't matter. So them reducing this to a very short distance, 15 meters, again, the distance of your hack, that's amazing. It really is. This is going to be a big boon to Sombra actually getting to use her stealth to put her in a position to surprise the enemy, whether she wants to finish someone off behind enemy lines, whether she wants to hack someone in order for the team to engage, whatever. You'll get there and be able to do that before they know that you're there, so long as they can't see you, because now they're not going to be able to hear you. That's a great thing. Translocator is also getting a buff. The cooldown's being reduced from 6 to 4 seconds. Of course, what this means is more frequent use. You're going to be able to use it much more often. The idea is you use stealth, you get behind the enemy team, you do some stuff, whether you're hacking, whether you're shooting, and then you translocate her back. So with a shorter cooldown timer, this lets her use Translocator to reposition herself much more often. Many times after you translocated, the enemy team could see where you threw it, and they would respond by just starting to shoot where you were going to land. But now after 4 seconds instead of after 6 seconds, you can reposition once again. So this just lets her be a bit more mobile and kind of makes her feel a little bit more akin to Tracer. Get behind the enemy team, do some stuff, and then disappear before they can kill you. That's great. Her having more mobility, being able to get out of hairy situations quicker is an amazing thing. We love that. And then lastly, her hack is getting a little tweak that is going to actually be a very nice quality of life thing for her and her team. Hacked health packs can now be seen through walls for her allies. So this is going to make it so that now that your teammates can see your hacked health packs through walls, they're more likely to know where they are at all times, and as such use them to help fuel your ult. That means Sombra will be potentially using her ult much more often as long as your team is playing along. And let's not get it twisted. Sombra is still a team-oriented hero. She's still going to require your team to be the most effective. She's not amazing at 1v1. She never has been. And her ult is kind of pointless unless your team follows up. Hell, even your hack can kind of be pointless unless your team follows up, because she is not an assassin. She's not someone who can take out anyone super quickly. That's a large part of that reason is due to the huge spread on her weapon and her relatively low damage when compared to other heroes who fill that offense category. So she still is team reliant. However, with a team that is playing along and with what potentially might be the upcoming shield and barrier heavy meta, Sombra might be finding a really nice place in regular play. So obviously we've got the upcoming release of the brand new hero Orisa, or Orisa. I've had people shout at me, but you know what? It's been officially pronounced both ways a ton of different times.
So we're here to talk about Orisa.
What about Orisa?
My name is Orisa.
A reset.
Orisa was amazing.
The look of Orisa into Orisa's design.
So, I'm just gonna pronounce her however the fuck I feel like it, cause Orisa, tomato, as far as I'm concerned. She's coming out, she's got a new barrier added to the mix, and obviously a ton of people are probably gonna play her as soon as she launches. That is good for Sombra. Reinhardt hasn't really gone anywhere, so that's great for Sombra. Lucio's ult, Lucio's still probably gonna be played a ton, that's great for Sombra. Hell, if we see a lot of play from Zarya and Zenyatta, those are also good heroes for Sombra to be in the mix. So with some tweaks, with some of these quality life changes, with the fact that her stealth is now much more stealthy since people won't be hearing you as long as you're not within 15 meters of them, allowing you to get the drop and take someone out at low HP, allowing you to hack someone for your team to engage, hell, even allowing you to get behind the enemy team to pop your ultimate and then translocator back. And now that translocator has a shorter cooldown, you'll be able to do it with a much higher frequency. All of these are pointing to Sombra quite possibly finally being good, finally being what people would claim as playable. I saw a post up on Reddit the other day that talked about how Sombra had the lowest win percentage among all heroes. It was sub 40%. That was even lower than Widowmaker and Hanzo. At least their win ratios were in the 45-ish%. So that's tough. That's really tough. The fact that Sombra or games with Sombra in it are much more likely to be on the losing end of things, and I really hope that these changes and the shifting in the meta with our brand new hero will make room for her. I'd like to be able to pick her more without getting shouted at, you know? That'd be great. We'll have to see. All right, everybody, that's gonna do it for me here today. As always, I want to know what you guys think. How do you feel about Sombra's upcoming changes? The fact with the new hero, do you think she's gonna finally find a place, or do you still think she needs a few more tweaks? Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you have a good one, and until next time, I'll see you later.